minus for the characteristic. All right.
Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Intercontinental Rally Challenge 2012, the Rally Islas Canaries. This year's calendar is a challenging mix of gravel and tarmac rounds, ending once again in Cyprus in November. For round 2, we're on tarmac for the first time this year, and we're based on Gran Canaria, the third largest of the Canary Islands. 15 undulating stages provide a mixture of narrow and fast sections. It's got an abrasive surface with high grip, but high tyre wear too. Here we are in the beautiful archipelago of the Canaries. It's comprised of 7 volcanic islands, situated in the North Atlantic Ocean, around 150 kilometres west of Morocco and 1,000 south of Spain. The most populated town of the Canary Islands since 1910, Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, is the capital and is where Rally HQ and the Harbourside Service Park are based for the event. Yesterday was day 1, then 9 stages on day 1, 139.4 kilometres with a 1.5 kilometre blast around a go-kart track to finish off. Jan Kopecki, this was his first IRC outing of the year for the Work Skoda team. He finished 2nd in Canarias last year behind his teammate Juho Hannanen. He's 3 times a runner-up in the IRC Championship, has proven pace on tarmac. He took 5 stage wins on day 1. And he leads the field with a very small gap of 1.2 seconds over Andreas Mikkelsen. Here is Mikkelsen, our current IRC champion, round 1 winner as well this year. They're continuing their full IRC programme with Skoda UK, and they're currently on a win run of 3 in a row. So far, though, an IRC win on tyre has eluded Mikkelsen, but at the end of day 1, he's 2nd overall and has 4 stage wins. He could have led overnight, but he slowed down on the final stage because he wanted to run 2nd and, in his words, hunt Kopecki down. Now, this was his big moment yesterday. Lucky to get away with that. Luis Monzon, probably the big surprise from day 1. He is the Rally Canaries event promoter. Hasn't sat in his Peugeot 207 S2000 for 4 years. He's been racing supercars. But did a great job on leg 1, was 3rd overall, a minute and 40 off Kopecki. Maximum attack from him all day. Hermann Gassmann Jr., he was the youngest German rally champion in 2009, but he had a poor season last year in the SWRC. The Red Bull driver has a solid day 1 and lies in 4th overall, 20.3 behind Monzon, and he says he wants to manage his pace on leg 2 to score good points. 21-year-old Seth Vegan started rallying in 2010. He finished 4th in the Azores on the first round, just ahead of Gassner Jr. He set 1/4 best time on leg 1, was lucky to get away with clouting that curb, and he lies a solid 5th, just 20.5 behind Gassner. There is the onboard and the big bang. He's 1 minute 34 ahead of his closest pursuer, Jonathan Perez. That is the overall. Kopecki leading from 1.2 after Mikkelsen slowed down on that final stage last night. You can see the gaps really starting to open up as you get further down through the top 10. On then to day 2 and to Mas Palomas 1, 13.28 kilometres, and this stage was at 10:28 local time. It starts at the south of the island, it heads compass north, very fast towards the finish. Apparently this is normally a very popular road for cyclists, but not today. Closed to cyclists, open to the rally. Apparently also featuring some fearsome drops at the side of the road. So after Mikkelsen's tactics on day 1, Jan Kopecki runs first on the road today in his Works Spec Fabia S2000. Big wide open road to start the stage off. The overriding comment from all the drivers, in fact, on this stage was that it was much faster than they had expected on the recce. So some people's pace notes not working quite so well as they thought they would. Kopecki pushed hard. He set a stage time of 7 minutes 6.6. Andreas Mikkelsen, obviously very comfortable running 2nd on the road. He pushes hard and immediately takes the overall lead back. He wins the stage, going 3.1 seconds faster than Kopecki. and takes a lead of 1.9 seconds over his Czech rival. He's now in the enviable position, of course, of being able to manage his pace and watch for Kopeczy's split times ahead of him on the road. Very clever tactics indeed. Luis Monzon driving the leading Peugeot. He was caught out at the start of the stage by colder road temperatures than he was expecting, but he manages a good pace, particularly at the high-speed finish. He is third quickest, 15.2 seconds down on stage winner Mikkelsen, and very popular with the local fans. Herman Gassman Jr. was running fourth on the road. You'll remember he decided not to fight for a podium, just wanted to take a decent points haul. Unfortunately, things didn't go quite according to plan. Pushing hard there early on in the stage. And there we can see an over-optimistic pace note and possibly a slightly wrong line as well. You can hear the rear end is hanging off the car. Team boss Raymond Baumschlager said he has to push, he has to prove his pace, and these things happen when you push. So a little bit unlucky for Gassner Jr. Sepp Wiegand, he benefits of course from Gassner's retirement, but he was the first person in fact to say that he was sorry for Gassner. He had been enjoying the fight and he wanted it to continue until the end of the rally. Regardless of that, he gains one position and he now lies fourth. There's Gassner's stricken car at the side of the road. He is 46.4 seconds behind Monzon. Jonathan Perez, Spanish driver in a Peugeot 207 S2000. He is also promoted a place at course by Gassner's misfortune. He really now has to aim for a finish. He is 1 minute 38 back from Wiegand and 1 minute 14 up on his fellow countryman Joan Vinez. Rashid El Ketbi, this is his first ever tarmac rally. He didn't have an easy first leg, but the Emirati is increasing his pace. Unfortunately, a clutch problem would slow him for the entire of his day. So there is the overall. Mikkelsen going back into the lead by 1.9 seconds from Kopecky, and nearly 2 minutes now back to local man Monzon. On to special stage 11 then. This is San Bartolomé de Tirajana 1. It's 21.36 kilometres. It's the longest stage of day 2. Described as a very nice picturesque stage, and in fact it incorporates part of special stage 3 and 6 reversed and heads up towards the centre of the island. Smooth and wide on the hill climb with a tricky technical descent. Jan Kopecky then, after losing the lead in special stage 10, he decides that he wants to increase his pace for special stage 11. Now we're going to use our simulcam technology to have a little comparison between Kopecky and Mikkelsen at the start of the stage. Here we are, Kopecky with the black roof and Mikkelsen, of course, with the Union Jack livery. And you can see that Kopecky took a fair amount of time at the start of the stage here. Very, very brave through this section. In fact, when Mikkelsen heard the splits, he upped his pace for the second half of the stage, and he actually went on to win it by 2.5 ahead of Kopecky. Joan Vinez then, with more experience of tarmac driving and the road characteristics here in Gran Canaria, it's possible for the quicker two-wheel drive crews to almost match the pace of some of the four-wheel drives. And we're going to have another quick look with simulcam to see the difference between the Suzuki Swift Super 1600 and Alexander Salyuk's S2000 car. Here we are. So of course good grip levels mean the two-wheel drives can still get the power down, carrying decent speed as well. Slightly lighter, they can be later on the brakes. And you can see that demonstrated ably there. Alexander Salyuk, of course, in an M Sport Fiesta S2000. At the end of this section, the gap between them is just 0.8 of a second in favour of the Ukrainian driver. After special stage 11, then Mikkelsen increases the lead to 4.3 seconds over Kopecky. And we head towards special stage 12, which is Valesico to Festina 1. 16.12 kilometres and 11:44 local time. This one is described as very, very fast, with abrasive tarmac in the first 8 kilometres, with a flowing narrow road towards the end. One corner in particular has a hidden puncture risk. Andreas Mikkelsen then sticks to his strategy and manages his pace on special stage 12 to keep Kopecky at arm's length. He takes his 7th stage win of the rally. You can see there how crucial decent pace notes are. Can't see through these corners. only takes that stage win though by 1/10 of a second from this man, Jan Kopecky. Continuing to harass the Norwegian with only a 10th in between them. Mikkelsen's lead to Kopecky is just 4.4 seconds. Oleksiy Tamrazov, bad news unfortunately for Dream Team Ukraine in special stage 12 after Alexander Tsaliuk retired on day 1 with transmission failure. The team's second driver, you can see here, misjudges that corner and ends up very, very hard in the barrier, and that was the end of his rally. He'd been increasing his pace all morning, unfortunately just increased his pace a little bit too much on this one. Pulling the bodywork off, trying all sorts of tricks to keep the car going, but I think it's going to be a bit more terminal than that. Down in the service park then after the first loop of leg 2, Andreas Mikkelsen returns with a 4.4 second lead over Kopecky.
It's been a big attack from our side. We tried to get some time out of Jan in this morning loop, and we succeeded, so hopefully we can push now the last 3 stages, and maybe we can stand on top, but it's a big fight at the moment.
I'm not taking any big risk, but of course I was trying to go flat out, but in some safe mode, let's say.
Herman Gassman Jr. had also returned to the service park following his exit this morning on special stage 10, and you can see the damage there to the Fabia S2000.
One corner was a little bit tighter than expected. I think I took not the exactly right line, and then we hit some barrier. And unfortunately, it was quite a hard impact.
Good news for Rashid Al-Ketbi though. His Skydive Dubai rally team managed to change the clutch in service, and he will be able to continue. So here's how it lies overall then. Mikkelsen leading from Kopecky by 4.4, and Monzon now 2.5 minutes back. A further minute back to Wiegand and 2 back to Perez. So the top 5 now starting to spread out. See overall positions there after special stage 12. 3 stages still to go. Can Andreas Mikkelsen win his first tarmac IRC rally? Join us in a minute. Welcome back to IRC Rally Canaries. After the first loop of leg 2 and with just 3 stages remaining, Andreas Mikkelsen leads for Skoda UK. 4.4 seconds ahead of Jan Kopecky. 2 minutes 25 ahead of the local driver and event promoter Louis Monzon in his Peugeot 207 S2000. Now this is Maspalomas 2. South of the island heading north again. Same stage as this morning. Those big drops. That's the one that claimed Gassner. So Kopecky having changed some of his pace notes after the first run this morning, being a bit faster than they thought and still cementing a new relationship with his co-driver Pavel Dresler. He gets another stage win. Look how hard he's trying through there as well. 4.2 seconds quicker than his run in the morning. And Mikkelsen is enjoying the stages as well. He even has the big drops in his pace notes. He goes 7/10 slower than Kopecky, and his lead is cut to 3.7. And again, just a little lift off through that crest. Louis Monzon refers to these stages as his house. There is local roads, and despite his lack of rally practice in recent years, his good run continues. He's 3rd quickest through special stage 13 and remains 3rd overall. Sepp Wiegand, the German rookie, may well be missing his battle with Gassner from earlier on in the day, but he's learning very fast. He goes 5 seconds quicker than his first pass through the stage, and he's less than 2 seconds slower than local hero Monzon. You can see the overalls there with the lead down to 3.7. That looks like a great place to watch a rally to be. Repeat then again of this morning's stage, San Bartolomé to Tirajana 2, 21.36 kilometres at 15:40 local time. Smooth and wide on the hill climb, and with that tricky technical descent, the longest stage repeated on day 2. Difficult balance now then for the Czech driver. Kopecky needs to push hard without taking unnecessary risks, but he seems to be achieving this. Another stage win, but only again by 1/10 of a second. It's not really enough to eat into Mikkelson's lead with only one stage left to go. And he's got a lead of 3.7 seconds coming into this stage. He needs to be neat and tidy through a long stretch of tarmac, good speed and good rhythm up through the hill climb. It's incredible that after 21 kilometres, the difference is only 1/10. Luis Monzon still pushing the Peugeot against the Amas Skodas. He continues to combine his home advantage and local knowledge. Improves his own time from the morning loop by 5 seconds, despite losing grip as the tyres went off. Sepp Wiegand very impressed apparently by Kopecky and Mikkelson's ability to drive the stages like a circuit, but he too is now managing to look after his speed a little bit better into the corners and overcome some of his handling issues from the morning. So of course we've also got Production Cup and two-wheel drive happening here in Canarias. This is Robert Consani, the Frenchman. Second round of Production Cup as well, of course, as the second round of the IRC. He's showing good consistency on the fast abrasive stages in his Renault Megane RS. The same wasn't true last time out in the Azores, of course. That was where he crashed out in his gravel spec Renault Clio R3, combining the two cars for an effort at the championship. Megane on tar and the Clio on gravel. It's important for him to score maximum points here. He does that, and it has to be said that is a great result for him. Marco Tempestini, the Italian in the Subaru Impreza R4, after the retirement of Riccardo Mora with a turbo failure. His only rival to Consani is our man, the Romanian-Italian Tempestini. Described as a veteran, he's navigated by Dorian Polpea. He's keeping pace with his junior French rival, but a brake problem on day one means he stays in second and loses 1 minute 30. He's not able to overcome the deficit, and he is the production runner-up in Canarias, taking a valuable 18 points. So there we are, these are the Production Cup standings. Consani and Mora level on 25, Tempestini and Silva level on 18, and Rodriguez on 15 points in 5th. And we also have the battle, of course, of the two-wheel drive cars. Joan Viñez, the Spaniard driver in the Suzuki Swift Super 1600, proving the fastest of the two drivers in identical cars. He has won more than half the stages in the two-wheel drive cup and brings home the victory. Even more impressive, I think, though, than the first in class is 6th overall. Gorkarang Zastigi in the sister car takes 10 seconds off the leader in the final stage, but they still finish runner-up, 18.6 seconds back. Angel Marrero and his Honda Civic Type R has kept the pressure on the dominant Suzukis. And in the end, he is rewarded with a third place podium spot in the two-wheel drive cup and secures 8th in the overall rally leaderboard. See the different characteristics of the road here. Spare a thought as well for Harry Hunt. He was 4th in class, of course, a previous IRC two-wheel drive champion, but unfortunately his Citroen DS3 R3 retired on the road section back to the finish after the final stage. So unlucky for Harry Hunt in the iCars Motorsport DS3. Another good result for the Honda Civic Type R was Germain Hernandez, another Spanish driver. He finishes 4th in the two-wheel drive cup following Harry Hunt's retirement, 6 minutes 13 behind the winner Viñez, and he secures 11th in the overall rally leaderboard. This is how it stands then for the drivers' standings in two-wheel drive. Viñez and Maciel at the top there, 25 points each, Suzuki and Citroen. Anzustini and Medeiros in a joint second place too. And here are the constructors' points. Honda doing very well indeed thanks to those decent results for the Honda Civic. There's only one stage left here in Canarias. Can Andreas Mikkelsen hold on that very tight lead and win his first tarmac event? Now, welcome back then to the IRC Rally Canarias highlights of day 2. And with one stage left to run, it is suddenly not looking so clever for rally leader Andreas Mikkelsen. He is out of the car and checking under the bonnet because he has developed a misfire on the road section to the final stage of the event. Only 3.6 seconds separate him from the chasing Jan Kopecky. Mikkelsen makes it to the start. He doesn't know whether or not he's going to be able to make it to the finish. So this is the second run then of Valesco Festina. That very quick abrasive tarmac in the first 8 kilometres and a flowing narrow road to the end. Jan Kopecky then sits on the start line of the final stage in Canaries and is aware of Mikkelsen's problem. After an event-long fight, the door is open for him to claim his 6th IRC victory. On the flip side, poor Andreas Mikkelsen knows that he needs a miracle not to lose the event right at the death. After perfectly managing the rally and even taking the brave decision to drop the lead at the end of the day one and run second on the road, Mikkelsen really doesn't deserve such a dreadful change in his luck. You can hear the car not pulling quite so hard there. Kopecky continues to push hard in the knowledge that Mikkelsen is probably being slowed. And sure enough, halfway through the stage, Mikkelsen has already lost almost 17 seconds to Kopecky. You can hear the misfire. He continues to push as hard as the sick engine Skoda will go. Kopecky comes down now then towards the finish line after a 2-day battle where the cars have not been separated by more than 5.1 seconds. He won't know the result until Mikkelsen's time comes in.
Have to wait a little while longer to see if you've won, but we hear that Andreas is losing time in the stage.
Is he losing the time? Okay, I heard that he has some problems with the engine, so that's a pity because we had a nice battle during the whole weekend, and if he would win because of his problems, that I'm not so happy.
And here is Mikkelsen, then just over a minute later, he finishes the stage and the rally is lost. And the Czech crew are the first to offer their commiserations. But it's a disaster for Mikkelsen.
How do you feel?
Very disappointed. So close to my first win, so but okay, on tarmac.
Very, very hard on Mikkelsen. It would have been a new IRC record of 4 wins in a row and his first win on tarmac in the championship. Luis Monzon completes a great run to 3rd overall. It's a fantastic drive by the event promoter after a very long break from rallying. Don't forget, this 207 is not the latest spec works car from Peugeot, and the 2 Skodas are very much works machines in front of him. So a really, really great job by him.
I'm very happy because the team have made the good work. The car is good too, but I'm very happy because the search in this championship is a good result for me.
And not forgetting, of course, he's nearly twice their age. So Kopecky takes the win from Mikkelsen on the final stage by 28.3 in the end, the biggest gap that separated them through the entire event, with Monzon in 3rd, and some of those 2-wheel drive cars making it right up into the top 10. You can see them in 6th and 7th there. And in the service park, and it was definitely 2 different stories. Kopecky was thanking his co-driver Dresler. He felt that their relationship in the car had really improved on this event. Very, very pleased with how that's gone. Of course, very important to have a decent relationship in the car. And poor old Mikkelsen, greeted by the guys who run his car. They know how disappointed he'll be. And in fact, it was just an injector connector which had gone wrong. That's Andy Rogers there, the team manager, greeting them. Great shame for Mikkelsen.
Of course, we are happy because for us it was a new rally, let's say half new rally, because I had a new co-driver with less experience on the tarmac and in this car, and okay, we managed to win, so we are completely happy.
Here are the driver standings after this event. Then Andreas Mikkelsen leads the championship with 43 from Kopecky on 25 and Vigant on 20. 24. Juha Hänninen 18 and Bouffier on 15. Mons on 15, also Gassner Jr. and Perez on 10, and Mora and Marrero on 8. Manufacturers Championship, Skoda with a dominant lead over Peugeot. Honda, M Sport, Subaru and Renault also scoring points so far this year. Great to see so many manufacturers in the IRC. There we are then. Colin McRae flat-out trophy, I think rightfully going to local man Luis Monzon after that fantastic performance, entertaining his home fans and doing a great job for Peugeot in the process. Presented to him by Jean-Pierre Nicolas and looking very, very pleased indeed. So that's it then from round 2 of the IRC. It was likely it was going to be a Skoda on the top of the podium this weekend, but it's Kopecky who takes the win. And whilst Mikkelsen will be disappointed not to win, it's a great result for his championship and he'll be here all year long. So join us soon then. The next round is going to be from Ireland, where Mikkelsen first learnt his trade and perhaps he'll break his tarmac duck there. I'm Andrew Coley. Thank you very much for joining us on the IRC and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.